This is not a holiday born of fireworks and flags, not really. It is the anniversary of treason. It is a remembrance of a moment when a group of men, deeply flawed and human, stood up to an empire and said, "We will die before we live on our knees." That's what it meant to sign the Declaration of Independence in 1776. There were no parades then, no hot dogs, no bald eagle mascots or Lee Greenwood anthems, only quills, candlelight, sweat, and the sound of British warships off the coast. Every signature on that document was an act of sedition. Every man who signed it knew he was signing his own death warrant if the revolution failed. This country was not born quietly. It was born in fire, in defiance, and ink. And it wasn't born into perfection either. It was born into contradiction and compromise, liberty and slavery, rights and exclusions. But it was born with a dangerous, brilliant idea at its heart, that the governed should have a say in how they are governed. The founders did not worship the Constitution. They wrote it, then they rewrote it, then they rewrote it again. They did not imagine a country frozen in their image. They imagined a country that could evolve, where law could bend toward justice and power could be restrained by the people. Even Jefferson, that bastard of brilliance that he was, believed the Constitution should be rewritten every generation to meet the demands of the living. Madison, Hamilton, and the others knew the Republic would rot if it became ossified. Originalism would have been a dirty word to them, a coward's excuse to shackle the present to the sins of the past. Look around. We are ruled by people who wrap themselves in the founders' names while strangling the very ideas they bled for. They quote the Declaration between Supreme Court rulings that spit in its face. They scream about freedom while banning books. They praise life while jailing mothers. They weep for unborn children while cutting food stamps for the born. They fly the flag and drag the country. But this is not patriotism, it's pageantry. The America we celebrate today was never meant to be a museum exhibit. It was supposed to be an experiment, something fragile, something that could be broken and was, something that could be repaired, but only if we still believe in the wild, reckless courage of its birth. The founders were not gods, they were rebels. They believed in the audacity of defiance. They stared down monarchs. They burned their ships behind them. They spoke of inalienable rights, not as a finished truth, but as a promise to be pursued. So this 4th of July, do not raise your glass to the illusion of America. Raise it for the ragged, raging, imperfect ideal of it. Raise it for the rebels and the dreamers, the marchers, the teachers, the ones who kneel and the ones who rise, the ones who vote like hell because they know it's not over. Raise it because this country belongs to the people and only lives when we keep the fire lit. Because tyranny is always waiting in the wings. Because the powerful never stop trying to reclaim the throne. And because the revolution is not a chapter, it is a chorus, and it must be sung again and again and again. And we do not honor the founding by freezing it in amber. We honor it by daring to finish what they started. And that means this. If liberty means anything at all, then we must be ready, as they were, to defend it not with slogans or sentiment, but with our entire lives. Because the Declaration wasn't a declaration of comfort, it was a declaration of war against injustice. And if we mean to carry that spirit forward, then the 4th of July is not for the comfortable. It is for the brave. It is for those who still believe that America is a place we build, not a story we tell. And that freedom, real freedom, is a flame that only stays lit when we pass it hand to hand, heart to heart, and one generation to the next, until the last. Defiance till death.